Hi, you've tuned in to the GFree and Happy Show. Tonight, my guest is the rock star of family support for celiac community, Brian with glutenlibre.com. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to the GFree and Happy Show that happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Kathy, and I have been GFree and Happy for 4 years and counting. This is my anniversary month. I've been doing this for 1 year. Right before Thanksgiving, I started last year. And actually, my guest tonight is, I don't even think you'd remember this, but a year ago, we were in Santa Barbara. My husband and I had a really nice time, and we posted some pictures of Santa Barbara, and he tweeted me, and Brian did, with Gluten Libre. He was one of the first to reach out to me, and he's not even a celiac or gluten-free. He's very much aware of this community. He's a rock star in this community, so I wanted to do a little appreciation for Brian and all of my family members and yours out there that have helped us go through this fun, non-gluten lifestyle. So he'll be on in just a few minutes, but first, what episode are we on now? 48? 48 of the GFree and Happy Show is brought to you by Oval Eye TV. Oval Eye TV believes in building community through shared experiences. We produce professional live webcasts that bring tribes together. Visit Oval Eye TV today. So we're going to bring on Brian now. This is actually, I think, the third time I've interviewed Brian. Usually it's with his son and his wife. So I'm very pleased to bring on Brian tonight all by himself.
And I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. This can be fun. Hi,
Okay.
Brian.
How are you? I'm doing good.
Another reason why I like you and your family, too, is that you live in the spot where I grew up. I'm very envious. I love your pictures. You guys are in a big surf community, too.
Yep.
Yeah. I bet it's
I live in
nice
Ventura,
there.
but I work in Santa Barbara, so that's why I recognize the pictures. So yeah, but it's pretty close. Only 30 minutes away.
Yeah, I was born in Santa Barbara. So is my husband and daughter.
Yeah, I love working up there. It's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Especially
Yeah.
right now, it's really nice.
Yes, I will meet you guys in person someday.
Perfect. We'll have to go to Chuck's.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about family support and Brian, because you are a rock star in this whole GFree community. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised here, Ventura County. I was born in Santa Paula, which is about 15 miles east. Moved to Ventura when I was about 10 and been here ever since. And Kathy and I have been married about 20 years and have 6 kids together. So love the ocean and just, we love where we live. Kai got diagnosed probably in about beginning of 2010, Kathy, February of this year. So both with celiac disease.
So we're going to go right into this now. So Kathy, who is a Gluten Libre mom, and all of us in the GFree community know her very well.
Yes.
She's a rock star too. So I didn't realize this when I first started, that she hadn't even been diagnosed yet. It was mainly about your son. So let's talk about first your son being diagnosed as you and a father and being the supporter of the family. It was terrible, and we've had these 2 shows before talking about how horrible it was. But tell us a little bit about your role in Kai's, whole diagnosis of being celiac.
Sure. Yeah. After you got diagnosed, main thing is you want to be, you're as a parent, you're your child's #1 advocate. And he's a friend of mine and a coworker. He has a son who is a heart patient, and before Kai's diagnosis, my friend he became an EMT. So if he had to care for his son, he learned all about the heart. So after Kai got diagnosed, I kind of followed his discipline on that, and I just dove into learning everything I could about celiac disease, a gluten-free diet. The big thing for me, I bought Dr. Peter Green's book, A Hidden Epidemic, and that was it for me. That's actually kind of how Kathy became diagnosed, just learning from that book. And
That's
yeah,
actually on your website. You talk about that. In fact, glutenlibre.com, it's on the bottom of the screen here. Please check it out too, because it's got a lot of celiac awareness on here. But let's go real fast since you mentioned that. You actually have a page.
yeah, talk about it. Just find whatever clicks for you. And
Yeah.
for some reason, that book worked for me. I still use it. I read it a lot. I use it as a reference, and it's a bit older. I think the revision on that was maybe 2006 or so, but there's a lot of good information in there.
And
It
that's
explains
mainly how you started learning all about, because I didn't know about celiac disease until way into my gluten-free lifestyle. I didn't know you had to be tested at the beginning.
Sure.
You know, so how did you find out all about it through this book, or did you find out through your friend?
Yeah, you know what? When we finally diagnosed Kai, we just basically were told to go gluten-free, and that was kind of it. And then once, I started educating myself, I learned more about it, about, the biopsy and endoscopy. And I don't know if I would have done that back then. It depends. But there's a lot of things we weren't told. So it was nice learning on our own and just advocating at school, finding a new doctor. You don't know if you have the right doctor unless you know about celiac disease. It really helps.
And luckily you did have the right doctor. So your son is doing quite well, right?
Yeah, he just had a growth spurt. So we're really seeing the effects of the GFree diet kicking in. So he really took off. So it's kind of nice because there's no medication, nothing else. It's all diet, and it's starting to really work. So it's big. He's going to be tall. He was really
funny?
short for a while, and
Yeah,
he's actually
and he
taller
wasn't
than some of his
growing?
friends. Exactly.
And no energy. Those were some
He's
of the
doing well with
symptoms.
that, yeah. He still gets a little tired, but he plays hard. He skates. He's most social out of everybody, so he's always out. So, he has a reason to be tired. He plays hard.
So let's talk about which one of these. We have your family up. I love this picture of you guys. So there's 3 boys in front, and Kai's in front of Kathleen with the dog, little
Oh,
blonde
from our
boy.
website? Yeah. We have older kids, but they're up north, so they weren't there for the picture. But they come down. They're going to come down next week. So
you need a whole family picture, because
I will.
You did a great blog. You went and saw I'm going off subject for a second, but I just read that today. I
Pepper.
love the one. Yeah, Pepper. I didn't
It was
know
fun.
Pepper, but I liked how you said, the whole gluten-free stuff, and how you came home and you had your. Well, just read it, everybody. It's on the
Yeah,
blog
no, it
right
was
there.
fun. Yeah, it was a good time. Our kids came down. We just went. It's local here at Ventura Theater. It's a really nice venue, and yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, I had a good time.
And so when you're doing all this educating for Kai, your other kids are not celiac. They're not gluten-free. You're
No, just
not
Kai and Kathy.
gluten-free.
Yeah, I'm gluten free in support of them. I pretty much maintain the diet. If I do cheat, I hate to say that word, but I'm not medically, gluten free. It's with my father-in-law. I'll have a beer with him because, time's precious with him right now. But for the most part, I try to maintain the same diet, just
And
in support.
these things that we're showing, you can't see it right now. You'll see it in the recorded part, but you have all the Udi's bread. You have the gluten. You've tried most of all the gluten-free beer, right?
Yeah, I have.
And you
Yeah.
like the Planet one, right? The best?
I like New Planet, and I know people get mad. I like Redbridge. I guess it's a cheaper one. People bag on it, but doesn't have the sorghum kick. So I kind of like that beer, But the New
Good.
Planet's good as well. They have some good flavors. So yeah.
All right, so you are not gluten-free, but you choose to help them in support because it's mainly your youngest who is not gluten-free, Kai, yourself, and Kathleen at home. So it's
Yes.
only 2 of you. It's 2 and 2 right now.
Yeah, and most of the other kids, the younger one, Sean, he'll eat the food pretty good, and Josh is getting there. So our whole kitchen's pretty much now gluten-free. There's a few things for Josh, but he's actually starting to, and the pastas and everything, they're getting a lot better now. They taste good, so we've been incorporating a lot more meals just for the whole family. It's a lot easier.
And see, that's another reason why I have you on, because my whole family is doing what my husband eats all the, and In-N-Out, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, the protein style.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
best
that's
In-N-Out.
good.
Yeah, gluten-free too. We're huge fans. But I wanted to kind of do this show for my month anniversary because I want to give appreciation to my whole family that does the same thing that you do. My husband eats a lot of gluten-free stuff, but he also does not. Like for lunches and stuff, he'll have regular bread. I just don't think the gluten-free bread is as good as the old one, so I don't make him eat that. I'm glad you do, though.
No, I do. I don't mind. I like the Udis. That's kind of, it's limited here where we're at. We have some stuff, but we don't have the, fancy or Gucci baguettes or anything like that. It's just the Udis does it for me. That's probably the one I like the most,
I have that boot too. What? Oh, you were seeing the picture. Sorry, Yesenia. So the next question I want to talk to you about is when you found out your wife was celiac, did you have to go through all the problems that Kai went through and, trying to diagnose it, or was it really quick the second time?
Yeah, it's funny because after Kai got diagnosed and, I started just learning all I could, I kind of had a feeling Kathy had it, but she was a little apprehensive maybe on getting tested. And when she got tested, it just kind of confirmed what we already thought, and she's got rheumatoid arthritis, thyroid disease. So she has other autoimmune diseases that go hand in hand with that. So it explained a lot of stuff. Even though they both have celiac disease, their diets are different. They're not the same. She's more kind of going dairy-free, maybe a little more paleo than Kai. Kai eats a traditional gluten-free diet, so it's kind of weird how they're both diagnosed, but they're different. Their diets are different. Not one GFree diet's good for everybody. So
I agree. I can't eat that traditional way either. Maybe it's older women, I don't know, but
yeah, lately she's been really honing in her diet and cutting out a lot of stuff because her stomach's been bothering her, so she's having to pay more attention to certain things. Where Kai, it's just as long as it's gluten-free, he's good to go, so.
Good to hear. But for Kathleen and myself, we will have a nice, easy way of going through the holiday season because we can't eat all that stuff anymore.
Yeah, she's cutting out some dairy, and she's kind of bummed because dairy's I'll go G-free and support, but dairy-free, wow, that would be brutal. I love my cheese and all that. It's good.
Cheese and wine, and it goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
So I hope she gets better for the dairy-free.
Yeah, she's getting there.
So you are huge online, but you're not gluten-free, but you're huge within the G-free community.
I can do social media at work, so it gives me an advantage.
I know, you're always on, and you always connect. You connect with people all over the world, it seems like. Tell us a little bit about why'd you start, and did you start the website? Tell us the online presence you've created.
Yeah, I just kind of, what happened was once Kai got diagnosed, I kind of had him look online and try to connect with some websites. Just a kid like him who likes music, likes to skate, surf, and didn't really find anything. So that's how we came about with what we're doing, and it's good. We're kind of breaking new ground with awareness in new groups, but the hard thing is finding those people, especially locally. I thought it'd be easier locally maybe to find some surfers with celiac disease or skaters, and it's actually been easier to find older people and some pros, out of the area. I've connected, like Jessica Patterson, she's a motocross women's champ, recently some jiu-jitsu practitioners and NASCAR guy and some other people, which is cool. I just want to find some local people. That's the hard part, but yeah, it's kind of how we came about, just with Kai's interests and stuff like that. Maybe musicians, artists, people that normally maybe aren't in the group, whether they have tattoos, mohawks, that type of thing. Everybody needs awareness, Celiac disease doesn't discriminate, so, neither should awareness. So.
I agree. And
it's just we're after the group that's just maybe not being hit too hard,
And the music, the Pepper, the group didn't have any gluten-free members?
No, I don't know. They actually, they don't follow a lot of people, and we both got followed from them, and they followed somebody, Atherton Baking. They followed them, which is kind of cool. So maybe one of them knows about it or something. I'm not sure. I connected with them on Twitter, and we've seen them a few times, but I'd love to find a musician like that's, got celiac disease. Would be huge.
Well, what you said at the bottom of your blog, too, means a lot to me, is I think music heals. So if you could find more musicians, that would be a wonderful thing.
Yeah. We had a
So,
little stressful time, so it was good to go out with family and, just unwind and saw some friends there. And you know how it is at local venues to see concerts. It's always good. So,
oh yeah, that's how we started.
yeah.
Music. Lots and lots of music. Okay, so yeah, the website, you all are on Twitter. Even Kai. Is Kai doing
A little
much?
bit. He kind of comes and goes with it. Yeah,
Is Kai in school now, or is he still being homeschooled?
he's being homeschooled, but I think he's going to go back. He wants to go back to junior high. So, yeah, he's going to go back soon. I think at the semester change here in winter. So
Because you were doing that so he would stay healthy and not get
and it
glutened
works.
at school.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with how he is now. We just were able to hone in on his diet, and now that he's older, he catches. Sometimes we still have a bump, or we'll miss something we buy, and he's always the one that catches it on the label. So he's really aware. So I trust him out now. If schools don't have the best options here, we'll probably bring his lunch, but he just doesn't want to get sick. He gets really sick when he gets gluten, so he's on it. Which is easier, I think, with a kid that gets really sick. I'd feel for those whose kids maybe don't have that many symptoms. They might be tempted to cheat. I think that would be a lot harder. Where I guess if you could say it's an advantage that Kai gets really sick because he won't cheat. He's down on the couch for 6 days, 7 days.
That's a good point, because there are kids that are cheating because of that and hurting.
Or they have silent symptoms, or
Yes.
they maybe think, well, I'll just have this and suffer a little bit. He just won't because it's too severe.
So let's talk about how your Thanksgiving and holiday meals will be, because this is another big supporting part of the family and friends, is you all get together and hopefully somebody, because usually I try and make some kind of meal or bring a lot of food for me and family members to try. But how do you guys do it? How do you tell us a little bit about your scenarios for holiday meals and GFree and Happy?
Actually, yeah, everything we make, stuffing, everything is gluten-free. The only thing we might have, we might split are the rolls and maybe some gravy, just for the older kids that come down. But for the most part, our whole Thanksgiving, and maybe a pie or two, but for the most part, it's all gluten-free. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Stuffing's good. We got it down pretty good. So
yeah, the udis, do you use?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell. I love it. So.
Or no, it's a glutinos, I think. I couldn't,
I'm not sure how Kathy does it. Yeah, I usually have to work Thanksgiving Day, and I usually get home at 4. So yeah, it's already made.
Yeah, and lately they have been doing really good crusts for Whole Foods. I don't make crusts. I'm sorry, that's just not something I do. So Whole Foods has great crusts to put with your pies. So
yeah, we just had one open, so we'll probably check it out. Because here we'll have some stuff. It's just the shopping's kind of limited. I see people on social media with the food they buy, and we're not quite there yet. We have stuff here, but it's not like the Bay Area or Colorado. They have the GFree scene there is big. They got a lot of options. So
yeah, I hear LA has a lot of options too.
yeah, that'd be nice. Like a fresh bakery would be great here. It's something that we'd be at every day for sure.
I bet the boys too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what is your goals for glutenlibre.com?
My main goal, I really want to find some local surfers and skaters on the competitive level. I'd like to get our logo out there on some board space, which means bottom of a surfboard deck. Some musicians, somebody's just out there. That's my main thing. That's what I really want to find. Because somebody local that I can photograph on my own. I really like to take pictures. Being a surfer, I know how to take surfing pictures or skate. I just have to connect with some local, preferably young people, kids. The statistics show they're out there. There's big competition level here locally and throughout the state. So if you look at the numbers, there has to be some gluten-free competitive surfers and skaters and any of that.
Well, I would think their diets nowadays are mainly whole foods or, really protein style kind of lifestyles.
Yeah.
So
it's just hard connecting locally. I've had a hard time with that. I don't know why. I just think nobody's hit them up before, so nobody knows about them, and I just haven't been able to make that connection yet. So that's what I'm hoping for. Once I do, I know it'll kind of take off a little bit, because when you surf, you want to have your picture taken, especially these young kids, and I'm all about it. I'll show up at 6 in the morning and be there with them. That's what I'd love to do. Put them on my blog, tweet about the results, and
the results are a big deal.
Way.
Yes, that would be
pay for
nice.
some comps or something like that. It's kind of what I'm looking at doing. Something like that. Maybe get a tin or a booth and maybe do a concert. We went to Warped Tour. I have a blog on that. I just made a shirt. It was kind of cool, and we got a lot of positive response there. So I see cancer boosts, like cancer awareness boosts, at a lot of these concerts, and you never see anything with celiac disease, which it's new, so it's not out there yet. But something like that would be really cool, like at Band's Warped Tour.
Yes, it would. And you have a lot of reviews that you guys do. Do you all do the reviews, the gluten-free reviews, as a family?
Yeah, for sure. I got 3 more I got to do. I just got some pizzas, some coffee cakes, and then some tiger nuts. They were pretty good. But the pizzas
what?
we got, tiger nuts they're called. They're like they're not a nut. They're I forget what they're called. Tubers. They're different. You should look them up. Yeah, they're pretty. They're interesting, but they're good.
Okay, so they're called tiger nuts?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look it up.
And then Russo's pizzas were phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hello.
Oh,
those are really...
Those are better than regular pizza. Yeah, those are really good.
Yes, I have to say I like those too. And I am showing Kai's Warped Tour blog.
Yeah, he goes every year. He's been going there for a while, so I try to go. And usually there's a band or two I like, but they're mostly like his style of music. But it was fun. We went last year and walked around, and I made a shirt with a marker, and yeah, I got hit up a lot. It was cool.
Yeah, let me see if I'm seeing the marker. What's this?
Oh, it's him being sunburned afterwards. I think it's at the very top.
Oh, is it? Okay, the t-shirt.
Yeah, that might. Let's see what that one is.
Hold on. No, I don't see the white t-shirt yet, because I remember that. See, Brian is very into social media during those things, and him and Kathleen both put your t-shirt that you wore, that you drew.
It's just a white t-shirt. Yeah.
And then you have it on your car too, glutenlibre.com, as you drive through your local town.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I thought I had to have you on tonight because you're such an advocate for all of us. I mean, you tweet, retweet, you do everything for everybody in the GFree community. But I think it's really important that you do what you do for your family, because it's kind of hard going through, that whole, everything has gluten in it, and especially for a little boy. So kudos to Brian, and
Appreciate
thank you.
That. Thank you.
And let's talk about where
I'm not the only one. There's a lot of dads out there hitting it, for sure.
I know. We've got, yes, but you are kind of the role model tonight, the rock star.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So we can find Brian at glutenlibre.com. It's all at the bottom of the screen here. Hold on. There it is, glutenlibre.com.
Yeah, and at Instagram at glutenlibre as well. I just got Instagram. I got into that. That's cool. I like Instagram. So,
I love it.
I like pictures. Yeah.
I'll follow you because I follow Kathleen. So. Yeah, I love Instagram too. So then on Twitter, you're Gluten Libre.
Yep, same.
And then on Facebook, you are Gluten Libre 805.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Brian, happy Veterans Day. Let's give a shout out to your son who joined the Marines.
Yes, Josh.
And he's going to now join or start boot camp.
I think first week of February. Yeah, he goes down to San Diego, which is 3.5, 4 hours.
So happy Veterans Day for everybody, but also good luck, Josh, and to the family of Josh too.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, he's excited. We're nervous but excited.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Super. Okay, so thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
And so next week I have. Well, thank you again, Brian. That was wonderful. Also, next week I have a special show too. I am a wine lover because most wines, I've heard rumors that some wines have gluten in them. If that's the case, please tell me which ones they are, because I've never seen that. But on next Monday, I have a special guest, Jolene Green, who owns a local wine bar in town, and she's going to be doing wine tasting with me. So I cannot wait. Until next week, have a happy GFree and, let's see, wonderful week.